Hey y'all, welcome back to Muddy Paws Disc Golf. This week we played Emmitsburg Disc Golf Course. This course is brand new. It's not even completed yet, thus why there's a lack of signage, and sometimes we got a little lost, so things may get a little out of order here and there, but we've done our best to piece the round back together. Hole 1 is a pretty tough shot. You gotta basically shoot up to the mouth of this skinny opening, and then the basket is about 50 to 60 feet down that opening. I clip a tree but still get close. My shot hits and rolls to the left of the basket. Matt throws a forehand and catches a tree. And there's the first missed putt of a very frustrating round.
Alright, I'll take my boog. You ready?
Everyone taps for bogeys on hole 1, off to a great start. Hole 2 is shorter and way easier. It's basically just around 250 feet to the basket.
Well, that looks good.
Oh.
But it hit a twig.
Get in.
Dad ends up parking it.
Yeah.
Dad lays it in for birdie.
Yeah.
And me and Matt tap for our pars. Hole 3 is 290 feet down an extremely tight gully. Dad plays it safe and lays it up the center. I take a slightly more aggressive line that ends up working out okay for me.
Tough.
Oh, you see the kick though?
Yeah.
Don't hit that
And
tree.
Matt clips a tree to the right, but ends up okay.
Oh, where's that?
Yep.
Oh, kicked the wrong way. All right.
I can't sink the long putt. And then we all tap in, Dad and Matt with bogeys, and me with a par. Hole 4 is extremely short. On UDisc it says it's 170 feet, par 3. I throw an AVR here and land just around the base of the basket.
Parked it.
Matt throws his gateway voodoo, comes up a little bit short. Dad goes mid-range here and skies it a little bit.
Ooh.
Definitely not the play there, but there was no way for us to know. Woo! Matt sinks a long one to save birdie.
Oh.
Dad continues the battle of putting, and I tap in for a bird. Hole 5 is 222 feet on UDisc. Shoot across the exercise path and then into this wide fairway that I can't seem to stay in the middle of. And Dad throws a pretty nice shot there. Played it safe. Matt also took the safer line. Skies his approach here a little, but ends up actually fading it in just around perfect.
Wow.
Dad runs it and just barely misses.
Good.
I go thumber and land comfortably near the basket. Everyone taps in, and it's on to hole 6. Hole 6 is over a sediment pond And it's deceivingly difficult because of the fact that you have a hill right in front of you when you're driving, which makes you want to throw it up in the air. I trimmed the bushes a little bit, but I end up over by the basket.
Get in. Oh.
Turbo putt for
Nice
Matt.
turbo.
Lays it in. I finish off the birdie.
Birdie.
Dad tosses out from the tree and taps in for a par. Hole 7 is another 170-foot hole. Pretty easy here. Matt insisted from shooting from this pile of gravel. It worked out pretty well from him.
Woo!
There's no real recognizable tee pad here, so we kind of just shot from where we assumed the tee pad would be. Definitely something for this course to work on is at least try to get some tee pads in there. The course gets real confusing without them.
Nice.
Matt birdies, and somehow me and Dad don't. That should never be happening on this kind of hole. Hole 8 is another short hole, but a tight gap at the end. Pretty tough shot. I throw my AVR here, and I get it right around the mouth of the opening. Matt tosses a forehand, but gets no fade. Throw thumber out.
Good.
Matt takes the same route.
Nice.
Matt hits another decent putt.
Nice.
I lay in. And Dad cannot get the love, so he ends up with a bogey. Hole 9. This is where the course really seems to ramp up. Just an extremely wooded, tough shot. Still not super long, but it gets way more difficult around this point.
Denied.
That kick.
Pretty much a pinball shot here to the basket.
What am I supposed to do?
That's pup.
Matt goes roller.
there.
There. Flip. Oh. That was
Skies the putt. Finally misses one. This is where the frustration began for me. Hole 10 is almost 600 feet. 594. Extremely wooded with a gate. This hole is pretty insane. This is where the course, all those birdies, they kind of start to catch up to you because it gets super difficult around this point.
Oh. Oh.
Matt plays it safe. I was way too aggressive on this hole. I tried way too many lines I shouldn't have, and I ended up paying for it.
Get him.
What was that?
Just a horrible putt attempt.
I don't like straddle.
Yeah.
Dad actually ends up tapping in par here. Matt gets a 4, and I reluctantly take a 5. Hole 11 is 247 feet, basically just a woods forehand shot. Matt flips one up and gets a good amount of fade. Throw mine up, I take the wider line, but it's just as safe. Dad actually tries the inside line here and gets denied pretty early. But he saves it with his upshot.
Almost.
Everybody just lays in here for 3.
One for the
Hole 12 is 235 feet on U-disc. Just a really skinny shot once again.
Hold
basket is off to the left.
Oh.
I get a bad tree kick. Matt goes forehand roller. His favorite shot that gets him into a lot of trouble. And I actually end up with a really good layup here. Very happy with how that one turned out. Probably the only thing I was happy with on the back nine. A 3 for me and a 4 for the rest of the crew. Hole 13 is 269 feet. Just another woods skinny shot. There's quite a pattern of that on this course, but it could be a good area to go if you're training for something like that.
Nice shot.
Because it consistently gives you variation, but keeps the same theme of a woods
Good
kind
shot.
of foliage. So the back nine would be a good place to practice your woods holes and things of that nature. Dad
What a
tries for the skip
skip.
shot here, lays it in.
Well, that
Matt's
was a
able to get
pass.
up there as well. I sink the putt for 3. And everyone else taps for 3s as well. Hole 14, 230 feet. This is a more interesting one. Just chuck it up over the hill and hope you don't fade out.
Wow. Wow.
That throws a really good one there. If it had stayed straight, it might have had a chance to go in. I do the safe thing and lay up. Matt taps for birdie.
Oh.
Dad can't make his birdie shot. And we all go in for pars. Hole 15, 496 feet on U-disc. Basket is off to the left. Mine faded out, or it was going to until it hit that tree. Dad has a textbook shot and is just slightly short, probably 100 feet. That was just not a good shot. I'm not proud of that one. Dad catches a tree as well.
Get in. Ooh.
The basket is pretty jailed in there when you're looking from 100 feet out or 50 feet out. It can be tough. Lay
Dead
up
for
there.
everybody.
Dad
Oh, Jack
decides
missed.
to putt ours in and does an
I made it.
absolutely horrible job on mine. Still
Start.
counts. We all got 4s. Hole 16 is 683 feet. Pretty difficult. Up around the corner.
Fought his
par
way
3.
through.
Not an easy shot.
Through the gap he's looking
But
for.
Matt laces one here. I'm using the U-disc distance markers. I think they're a little more reliable than what's on the sign. A lot of these felt like 600 feet when they were written as 300 on the markers. So I'm going to trust U-disc. I laid it up on an edge there to play into the backstop. And
Yeah,
me
don't
and
miss.
Dad tap for 4s, and Matt actually
Yeah.
ends up tapping for a 3. Hole 17, 355 feet, straight trees all the way there. A ridiculous amount of lumber. Dad clips off, not good. And somehow I found a line to the right. It was pretty much just a chuck and pray,
Dang.
but I have to say I was going that direction, so that felt really good.
Oh.
Matt ends up with a 3. I end up with a 3, and Dad really does not get lucky and gets a 5. 18 is the most brutal hole on the course. It's 517 feet, but of pure trees and just gnarliness all the way there. Matt laces one up the center that fades. Dad throws one off to the left.
Get through.
And this is where the massacre began. All of our second shots were okay. We all started clipping a little bit. Matt throws into a group of trees. And then has to power one out. Clips again.
Get up there.
I get it down there. Clip a tree. Dad clips a tree. I mean, it's turned into a massacre, folks. Throws again. Clips. Matt throws. Clips. And then finally, we are able to lay up.
Roll, baby, roll. Stand up. Yes, sir.
I'm somehow putting for a 4. I got very lucky.
Go.
Of course, horrible. Clips trees.
Follow your dad's footsteps.
Matt is able to save a 6. I am able to save a 5. And Dad gets a 7. So a brutal round. Matt was +5, ended up coming out with the win. I was +6. And Dad was +11, mostly because of that 18th hole. Now it's time for my opinion. I think after some time this place could contest with a Millbrook or with a Seneca or with a Kinder, but I think it's going to take some development. At the current point in time, I don't think it can hold up with some of those top courses, but I definitely can see the potential shining through. I just think it needs a little bit of editing and a little bit of maintenance. But for coming basically before this place is open, just like a soft opening, I thought it was a pretty cool experience to get to play a course like this. I thought it was definitely interesting, and the back 9 really made it way more interesting. So thank you for watching. This has been Muddy Paws Disc Golf. I hope you'll join us again. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you next time.